Hello everybody, I'm Bagloper and today I'm going to talk about Ruby's blocks and JavaScript's callback function. Here I have a very simple class called config, and inside that class is an attribute accessor called URL. And for those of you who are not Ruby devs, what this basically does is it automatically creates getter and setter methods for the class. Then we have this initialize method. The most interesting thing about this config class is this configure method, because it accepts a block of code as its argument. Inside this configure method, as you can see, we are yielding that block of code. Here we are just creating a new instance of this config class, and then we are just printing out that URL. And here we are calling that configure method on that config instance and passing this block of code as its argument. So starting from do till end is a block of code passed as configure method's argument. Now when the execution reaches inside this configure method, it is yielding that block and passing one argument into the block, which is the current instance of the configure method. Now once we reach inside this block, we can access that argument as such. So cfg is actually the instance of the config, which is this one. Now we can call that cfg.url, and we can set new values to that one also, cfg.url. And once we reach here, the config.url should print out the new value, which is the bagloper.com. Now how do we achieve the same in JavaScript? Unlike Ruby, we do not have block given method to check if an argument is callback or not. So we are doing a manual check here to see if this callback argument is of type function or not. If it's of type function, then we're calling it from inside the configure method. So like Ruby, we're creating a new instance of the config class, then printing out the URL, and here we are calling the configure method and passing this callback function as its argument. And once we reach inside here, we have access to the cfg, which is the current instance of the config class. Now we can call cfg.url, and then we can set new values to it, and once we reaches here, then we have the new value of the URL. Alright guys, this is it for today, and thank you so much for watching my video.